For 18 years, couples across Trinidad and Tobago have been rediscovering the joy of marriage through something extraordinary. Welcome to Merge, where love is nurtured, connection is deepened, and marriages are strengthened one couple at a time.
Whether it's our Merge monthly meetings, exciting couples activities, or our annual retreat, Merge is the place for enriching your marriage.
Merge is not just another marriage group. It's more than that. It's a safe space where real conversation begins, where struggles are met with support and victories are celebrated together.
Merge has been encouraging and uplifting.
Merge has been novel.
Merge has been unifying.
And as a newly married couple, Merge has been something we have never experienced.
We all know marriages can be challenging, so coming to the Merge monthly meetings will always leave you feeling motivated and encouraged to stay committed.
I mean, there's so many things that happen within the marriage, but there's so many candid thoughts that are shared within Merge, and apart from that, the fun as well, and so many different dimensions to Merge. It really helps you to refocus and enjoy your marriage.
Je chancelle avec les yeux bandés. Le chemin à parcourir n'est pas clair. Mes mains tendues.
Bonjour. Hi, yes, this is Kareina again.
Where are you?
What do you mean where I am? I am in soirée romantique. It's a Merge end of year event. Yeah, and it is a French theme this year. Listen, couples are having a grand time. Wait now, is Cry trying there? Oh gosh, I am sorry you couldn't make it this year either. Well listen, I am so happy because I am just getting to have the time of my life with my husband. And you know what's the best part? We wouldn't have to even go France this year because this event is it, let me tell you. Alright, I have to go now. Things heating up here. Alright, bye.
For 18 years, couples across Trinidad and Tobago have been rediscovering the joy of marriage through something extraordinary. Welcome to Merge, where love is nurtured, connection is deepened, and marriages are strengthened one couple at a time.
Whether it's our Merge monthly meetings, exciting couples activities, or our annual retreat, Merge is the place for enriching your marriage.
Merge is not just another marriage group. It's more than that. It's a safe space where real conversation begins, where struggles are met with support and victories are celebrated together.
Merge has been encouraging and uplifting.
Merge has been novel.
Merge has been unifying.
And as a newly married couple, Merge has been something we have never experienced.
We all know marriages can be challenging, so coming to the Merge monthly meetings will always leave you feeling motivated and encouraged to stay committed.
I mean, there's so many things that happen within the marriage, but there's so many candid thoughts that are shared within Merge, and apart from that, the fun as well, and so many different dimensions to Merge. It really helps you to refocus and enjoy your marriage.
All right, good night everyone, and welcome to the podcast. We have an interesting topic for you all this evening. You don't want to miss it, so share the live right now. Kareina, what's the topic for this evening?
Topic is spouse or child. Who comes first?
Who comes first? You have a spouse and a child, both of them need you at the same time. Both of them have pressing needs. Which one do you attend to first, and why? Coming right up.
And we are back. We just want to welcome you to the Merge Podcast, where we talk about real issues, real topics with real people. So I am Kareina.
I'm Jayden.
And we have
Dion.
And David.
Yes.
I mean, no strangers to the Merge Podcast, guys. We just want to thank everybody for coming on this evening. And we want to say a special thank you to two of our very amazing contributors and supporters.
Guys, I don't know if you all remember last month. If you didn't see last month's video, go back, check it out. But last month, Kareina's hand was holding a mic, going back and forth, forth and back. Her hand was pretty tired at the end of the night.
Yes.
And you all came out in a mighty way and you all supported via sponsorship. And we want to just big you all up at
Yes, we want to thank especially Kern Graphics Source. We want to thank Kern Graphics Source and also PPS Financial Services Limited for supporting ministry, for seeing that there's purpose in what we are doing and contributing to the ministry and supporting us. So we want to thank you all so very much. Kern Graphics Source, if you need your flyers, your anything for crusade, for outreach, anything, link him up, not at the time, but link him up now. And PPS Financial Services Limited, you can on board and get that steward done.
Because definitely, Kareina, we always at this podcast we do in ministry.
Yes.
And we would like to support those who support us.
Yes.
And so we encourage our followers, our fan base, our members of this community to support those who support us. And so we want to thank again in a very special way for the mics, these wonderful mics that you all see here. All four. For the first time we have everything kitted out like this. And also the lights that you have that's illuminating us so well. We want to thank our sponsors.
We're glowing.
Thank
you so much.
Especially when you have a complexion like mine, and David. You just need the lights. You just need the lights. Dion don't need much light. No, Dion don't need much light. But we need the lights. So thanks in a special way for those who saw it in their heart to contribute to this ministry.
Yes, and just remember, if this is something you are interested in doing, just hit us up, message us, let us know. And we just want to know that you don't just have to look onto the Merge Podcast. You could share this podcast, you can like it, you can send it to somebody. Comment in the chat also, and we really want your engagement in the chat as we discuss this very interesting, fiery topic.
Yeah, and we still accepting contribution. We have quite a bunch of other stuff to get, guys. So we appreciate you very much. Anyone else who wants to contribute to the ministry, we're all about growing. And we promise before the end of the year, Kareina, we will have a meetup. What do you think about that?
Yes.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Once food involved,
I buy his food as I follow the food.
Wow.
But so we thinking about having a meetup, where all of us come together, a space, probably do a hike or something, go to a beach line or something, and all of us come and just meet and have a good time together as a ministry. Yeah. So guys, getting right into it tonight, the certain topic that you see behind us, spouse or child, which one comes first? Now, let me introduce the people on the platform a little more in depth. So Kareina has a child. Yes. Kareina has a spouse.
All right.
David has no child.
That's your...
Joking. And David has no spouse.
Oh.
So we're going to get a wonderful view. Because guys, sometimes, parents on the comment on this one just now. Because she was very bold in her statements before we started here.
It's true.
Before we went live, she was very bold in her stance on spouse or child, which comes first. So we comment to her just now. But we want that view, that perspective, that outside perspective of a single man without children, what is ideally it should be like and what he has seen in his experience. And of course, we have none other than Dion.
Oh, yes.
Dion, you have a child?
Yes. I do. do. I have a son.
How old is he?
He will be 2 next 2 weeks.
Wow. So,
Did you have a spouse?
huh?
She have a spouse?
Yeah, actually, Dion has a spouse as well. Dion has a spouse. If you look at the intro merge video, which will come up in the break, you'll see Dion and her spouse, right? So, because they are merge members as well. Dion, you have a son that is going to turn 2 years old in 2 weeks. Is your first?
Yes, technically, yes.
Right, okay. So, how has it been managing first being a mother in this way? First time managing training a year and a half, a 6-month-old. All the demands on you and still trying to take care of the needs of your husband.
It's exhausting. I'm not gonna lie. It's very exhausting, but also very rewarding. You know, it's very strange. Yeah, that's why my hair's so gray. But at the end of the day, but it's a wonderful experience. But I can tell you, it's very difficult at times. You know, but I thank God for my support system that plays a lot in helping us raise him up. So kudos to them. I know they watch it, so kudos to them. Yeah.
So you really cannot afford to do it by yourself.
Can't.
I understand too, because my support system, 100%. You can't do a lot of things if you were just taking care of him on your own.
Yeah.
So I stand in solidarity of support.
So David,
our movement.
Yeah.
let me hit David. David is a sharpshooter, if you all didn't know, guys. David is a sharpshooter. David, spouse or child, which one comes first?
Now I know everybody can say spouse, so definitely I can't say spouse. And it has to be the child. And people doesn't be honest, people doesn't be honest. They'll say that it's correct. That's why the Bible put your spouse first. Most people at times just put a child first, and that's the truth about it. Dion know that, Kareina know that, and she doesn't be afraid to admit that.
You have a child and a spouse too.
Right, child and spouse, yeah. Many people put the child first, and that's just it. Now, which is it correct? You have to, I do not know, but most people put the child first. And I guess it depends on the situation, what stage the child is at.
Sorry.
Yeah. If the child is doing SCA, the child had to be first at that point in time. If they're doing an important exam, the child would have to take precedence at that point in time.
So what you're trying to say, they are temporary shifts.
It depends on the stage in life. Yeah.
Okay.
I disagree.
All right, free to disagree. Let's hear this.
I'm wondering. Child or spouse? Everybody says spouse comes first, and it's nice to say that. But shouldn't the child come from first all the time for the both spouses? Because I think, if you at the end of the day, both of you have to place some level of priority on the child.
Right.
Both of you, it can be wanting to get. Yes, the problem lies sometimes in the fact that you want my attention or somebody want the other spouse's attention. But what if both of us sacrificing ourselves and understand each other that the child is the main thing? No, we came together. You didn't bring this child. The child didn't bring himself into the world.
No, that's a problem. That's a problem. I'll tell you why problem. The child will think they are too important. For me, you don't want to.
But David is important.
Yeah, you're important. But listen, you now come on the team, right? Listen, you now make the bench, right?
Oh.
We have a number 10. You play. Listen, you run back when number 10 can run back, right? So if you place too much attention on the child will think that they are the pinnacle of the home and they're not working.
Yeah, but okay.
They're not working, they're not financially contributing, so you cannot really send up attention. That's just my
No, but I understand what you're saying. But what I'm saying is that at the end of the day, let's go to science.
Okay.
Science tells us that the smaller the size of a brain in comparison to its adult counterpart, the smaller a young animal, mammal, size of its brain to its adult counterpart, the longer it needs the care of its parental figures.
Okay.
And humans are born with a very small brain in comparison to our adult counterparts. It simply means that out of all the animals, let's say a cow, a calf will stand up and start to drink on its own in the first few hours of life.
Right.
There are certain animals within a couple days, the mother, you on your own, but a human being takes 18 years to have some level of common sense.
By the time I was 4, I was good at my
you know? So what do we make of that? Because a child biologically needs a parental figure, their attachments and all these types of things. And maybe it is our society can be messed up psychologically speaking, because we try to disattach ourselves from our children too early in this Western world.
Wow. I think, well, I don't think that applies to the Caribbean context, because I mean, in America, when children probably turn 18, their parents kick them out.
Right.
In Trinidad, that is definitely not the case.
Mm-hmm.
You're 40 years old and you're still old.
No, that is a problem. That's a problem. But I mean, not necessarily a problem, but yeah, depending on the situation, it can be a problem.
Yeah. If you're home and not contributing, it's a problem.
I just think it's all about balance. You have to know, while the child may be important, your husband needs are also important. And they have to learn at a very young age that everybody has some level of importance. It doesn't revolve around you, and when you don't teach them that, they will grow up feeling entitled, an entitled adult. And what kind of person you want to send out in society? That's a menace.
So I'm going to challenge you all tonight. What is wrong with an entitled adult? Look at those children are from first world countries who feel great senses of entitlement. I don't want to mention any specific ethnicities, but you know what I'm speaking about. Who they grow up with a certain level of entitlement. Right. What is wrong with that?
Well, you see the society, it ends up crazy.
Most times, if we encounter an adult like that, their brain kind of attached with tie strap, as I like to say, because the more important than they actually are. Right. And when you're going in a group setting, and you think that your views, everybody's views, and not because it's probably better, but because you say it should be better, you'll encounter many problems. So yeah, you don't want an entitled adult going out there and thinking that everybody owe them something and people should just instantly listen to them, because that's what their parents listen to them as soon as they have a complaint or concern when they're home.
So you have to train them to live outside it. So it happens in the home, and it starts with the parents and their relationship and how they try to, what they instill in their children, you know what I mean? So, yeah.
All right. Some interesting stuff here. Kareina just mentioned we have some persons online here. And guys, we want you to your comments in the chat as well. What do you say? Who comes first, spouse or child? Let's hear you.
So we have a lot of persons tuning in, and we thank you so much for pushing this YouTube video. We have Darren Sandy in the chat. We have Gershom Bing, appreciating the podcast and the dialogue. Deka, Joyce until good night to everyone. Comment in the chat, and soon we would have a poll in the chat where you can even vote on who's first, spouse or child, so that we can know what you're feeling, and feel free to engage in the chat. Don't worry, David won't come for you in the chat. He can't do anything to you. You can share your opinions very freely. Nicola says it's a tie, flip a coin, with a laughing face. Nicola is on the scene joining in. Good night, Nicola, good night.
So guys, I mean, the conversation going good so far.
Yeah.
Let's get a practical scenario. So Dion, this one is for you. You have your husband and your child need attention in the exact same moment. First of all, candid question, has it ever happened? Can you recall any time ever happening where both of them needed you at the same time?
Well, having a toddler, they always want your attention. So no.
Not directly?
Nah, not directly.
All right. So if this chance were to happen, they want your attention at the exact same time for different things though, how do you decide on which one comes first? How do you make that decision which one comes first?
Well,
be honest. That's all we ask.
Okay, well, given the fact that he's 2, given the fact that he's a toddler, of course I would go to him first. Again, it's parity and what is it really needs.
Right.
Right. If my husband fall long, you just stay right there until I see about this one, you just stay right. You don't hold him straight a little bit. You don't hold him straight. Wow,
The man will probably break. What be something?
I think, if I may just chime in a little bit, I think what comes down to in this scenario is a point of assessment. So you have to analyze and assess. 2 persons needed at the same time. Try and see which one is more. Both of them can be important. Which one is more urgent, right? So maybe with your spouse, you could speak and communicate to them because they're not out saying, hey, you need us right now because so happening with. I think a communication factor is very important to bridge that link before you go or to take a course of action to deal with whatever needs. So, for example, like today, I was doing something with our child. And she ran off, but she needed me to also do something. So I say, hey, like, real life scenario here. Spouse or child, which one comes first? And then I realized, I assessed the situation. Both of them needed me at the same time. So I said, okay, she's like on her own beat at the point in time. So I organized Jayden, and then I went back to what I was doing. So I mean, that's a very small situation. Sometimes in life it have bigger situations and that a little more technical and more complex. But I think assessment and communication is very important when you're doing that. But prioritizing, generally, I think that's a dangerous-ish kind of term to use. But now it gives who is more important. That's what it comes down to. That is what I think in this little pot.
Well, I come out for them tonight. I come out for them tonight.
I mean, Dale Walker is saying spouse. He's saying happy wife, happy house. Happy wife, happy life.
Stop saying that. Stop saying that. Stop saying
yes.
So, okay, you said assessment. How do you treat with it when a spouse, let's use the man here now, because oftentimes the woman is the one prioritizing the child, right? They'll just say it as it is. A husband feels like your assessment is always one-sided. And this is not uncommon, guys. This is not uncommon. The husband feels like, yes, you as a mother, your mother hen instinct, your protective instincts kicks in somewhat irrationally.
Okay.
And sometimes arbitrarily.
Too much. All of a sudden.
The child just make a little you leave your husband and he's like, do you think these can cause issues in the marriage? Because if we leave it up to assessment, then assessment is not a principle per se.
Assessment and communication.
Okay. So in psychology, I have to be careful now sitting down next to a psychologist here. In psychology, you understand that there's guys who look like the psychologists on the TV. But in psychology, there's something called the Electra complex and the Oedipus complex. Electra complex and stuff is where a spouse begins to have feelings of jealousy of the child because of the other spouse's attention or stuff to them. Are correct, psychologists?
I think as a child.
All right, she's a psychologist. Okay.
No. I think as a child begins to get that complex, not the spouse.
Right. So say it. Tell us it.
Child.
Don't be shy. Don't be shy.
I don't want to say the wrong thing next to a real psychologist like Nicola come from on the chat. But
Nicola, tell us about it.
Yeah, only put it in the chat. The Oedipus and the Electra.
We're in an age of AI.
So
let's check it out.
Oedipus is more that was a long time ago when the son started to have feelings for his mom, and then he was jealous of his dad because Electra is similar, but is the mother to the daughter to the father. Yeah, jealous of the mother.
So, whatever it is, coming or whatever it is. At the end of the day, what we're saying is that a spouse can begin to have feelings of jealousy because the child has now taken the position. And you could interfere with even the relationship of the spouse. Let's say the father to his child, or the mother to her child, the mother to her daughter. You can interfere with that dynamic if we make decisions in such a way that the child becomes the center of attention, etc.
Yeah.
So in terms of understanding that, the question is asked, do we see it as a real problem in this society in terms of relationships? Well, the two women refuse to speak here now.
Sorry, answer the question again.
Yeah,
sorry.
Is it a problem in society? Is it a problem in society? Like,
what?
If you prioritize the child the wrong way, does that cause jealousy within within a relationship?
I mean, David would like to say something.
I guess it depends on sometimes the level of attention the spouse here, probably the husband might want. It might have some fellas there who they don't need no such attention.
Right.
You here, honey, you pay all the attention to the child. Let's free me up a little bit.
Yeah.
And that probably might be the mindset of some men, like, okay, that's my child, she's taking care of the child, well, I don't need all the attention, I get enough from my mother when I was young. Right? So that's it might
no
not.
man ever.
No, it might not. Diana, break my chin. No, I just started. I couldn't land my plane, guys, right? So yeah, it might have some men that might not require that level of attention. So it might not be a problem for them. But for the fellas that require some more attention, they definitely would be a problem.
Yeah,
For sure.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen, sorry, you wanted Dion to respond?
Anybody, you can go ahead.
You want to respond? Because I was going to say, have you ever seen like a husband and wife hugging and a little child, no, that's my daddy, or that's my mommy. So they feel like you know, what's going on there? That's mine. So, I mean, I don't know how that comes into play in the whole.
It does come into play. And if I have to be transparent with our community here, when we had our daughter, that happened. The first few times she saw us hugging and stuff, she come and want to separate us.
But now
we had to teach her all of us can hug.
Yes, family.
And we don't have to separate to hug. We bring, and so she comes, family hug. She actually would say it now, family hug. And all three of us would stand and we just hug each other. It's not natural within a child to learn that very early on. Right? It's natural within a child to be selfish. As a matter of fact, she's at the stage right now, just approaching 2 years as well. She's at the stage where everything is mine, my own. You know, and that you have to recognize that developmental milestone is important for them, but it has to be trained in a particular way. Now, if we don't be careful when how we are sharing love and attention in the home, we could skew some of these things.
If I just may engage, because the viewers are pretty engaging at this point.
Let's say them.
Clinton Roberts is saying it comes down to the age of the child and the spouse. Because if it's a baby, the child comes first. But depending on the age of the spouse, let's say an elderly or a sick spouse. So now he is speaking about priority with regards to that lifespan, the human development lifespan, right? Deborah is saying the spouse, the child is a responsibility of both parents. With stepchildren, it is a bit more complex. Clinton Roberts comes back and says it all comes down to your understanding of the spouse as adults and their maturity. Nicola coming in as our resident online psychologist.
I was not a long
Electra Complex. No. She says Electra Complex by Carl Jung. Not pathological in some, and Nicola says cases. So I guess it's just a phase of adjustment. Persons are chiming in and saying the spouse comes first because a strong, stable marriage creates a secure and healthy environment for children, mirroring the concept of foundational anchor for the home. That's Karen Diane.
Beautiful. I like what Karen said. And that kind of helps me to kind of build for the next question, which is really, do we think it benefits the child more? What do we think benefits the child more? To see a strong parental unit in a loving relationship, or to make them the absolute priority? Which we think and why do we think benefits the child more?
Of course, having a good example will always benefit the child in the long run. You know, being able to, you know, see a healthy relationship, what it is to love, what it is to have boundaries, what it is to just, you know, be happy. You know, it does benefit the child in the long run. You know, so I agree with what she said. A happy home, a happy marriage, a thriving marriage is the foundation of a healthy, happy child. You know, because you're instilling everything that for the child to pattern when they get, you know what is nice to hear probably, like, you know, when your daughter grow up, I want somebody to love me like my daddy loves my mom.
Yeah, that's a big compliment.
You know, so being a good example, having a healthy marriage, prioritizing that will definitely help the child to grow up to make choice in the right partner and just be a healthy minded human.
Okay. So it's more beneficial for the child to see a strong parental unit than it is for them to have priority. Okay, Kareina, what do you say?
I just want to say what the chat is saying, right?
Yeah, chat.
No, the votes are coming in.
Okay.
The little survey that we did here.
Let me take a vote too as well.
Yeah. Persons are saying 84% has said spouse comes first. 16% says the child comes first.
The last podcast we had, the polls were going just like this.
And then
when the guru come on, the polls started changing. It flipped. Let me see what happened when the guru comes on later. Go ahead.
Carlos Valdez says, I would say the spouse comes first when it comes to relational priority. The child comes first when there is situational and functional urgency.
Now sound like a philosopher, Carlos Valdez there.
That's interesting.
All right.
Okay.
David, stronger marriage, like strong family bond, or priority on the child? Which one benefits the child more?
Which one benefits the child more?
In your opinion?
In my opinion, it will. Okay. Stronger marriage will benefit the child. Benefit the child in what way? In the prayer part?
In the becoming a
good human
mentally
being.
balanced human being.
Okay, if it's to be becoming a good human being, I agree with Dion's point. A strong marriage will definitely benefit them. Because with I'm not married out there, but you know, I don't have to tell you a macaroni pie not tasting good. I don't have to be able to make a macaroni pie and tell you one not tasting good.
Yeah.
So I think I've seen a strong marriage from their parents. They will know, okay, when I am ready to get married, this is what it should be. And knowing that they are not, cause sometimes when you put somebody at the center of attention or put them in a pedestal, people just try to sometimes get carried away with power and the level of importance. So seeing sometimes that'll make them humble to a degree to know that, okay, in this house, that's the captain there, mommy and daddy, and following their lead. So I definitely think a healthy marriage will benefit the child more in the long run. And also how to work in team dynamics as well. Because in life, some people think that you're just going to be a wolf and you're going to go there and you're going to rule the world. That's not true. You need a good team. You need a good team around you. You don't have all the knowledge or all the expertise that you need. So I definitely think a healthy marriage would benefit the child. Seeing a healthy marriage would definitely benefit the child in the long run.
Yeah. I just want to share something that came in and I can share my perspective as
Yeah, because that's all let's share the chat. I didn't get any chat there.
Someone said if the parent always puts the child first for a number of years, a normal developing child, not a child with disabilities or anything like that, they are pointing to something saying that seems like the marital relationship might be a bit off. That's what somebody shared their perspective.
Okay.
My perspective is I am agreeing that a healthy marital relationship would benefit a child more than just giving a child showering that child with attention and all of those things, because it can really interfere with their sense of self. feeling a grandiose sense of self, and as David was explaining earlier, that your perspective or how you do things or you, the world revolves around you, when in truth and in fact it does not. And you will end up raising or modeling, rather, by your behavior, a very maladjusted human being to come out into the world. So I agree with them that modeling correct behavior in marriage and taking care of your spouse and showing that affection, showing placement and all of those things would benefit a child better in the long run. How do you think about that answer?
I find all the answering real good. I have a problem with that.
Give us your point of view.
No, I agree. My point. Shut down the stream.
You see what happened is we were so good that he wanted to rebut us, but he could not.
No, I can rebut it. Hear this.
Okay, let me hear this.
Hear this. Why then, if what y'all are saying is true, why then everybody in society seem to be taking the other route? Because the reality of it is, when I, just from my personal looking into relationships and observations, it seems to me that people prioritize the child more than the spouse. Why then, if we know all of this information as a society, as a chat, as a panel, if we know all of that, why then people don't do it? Everybody wants a healthy child, everybody, but why do we do the opposite?
Because I guess, you know,
because it works.
No, because it's easy. It's easy.
Okay.
Because when you have to deal with your spouse now, you have to be intentional.
How you say that you deal with it?
No, when you have to deal with the issues and you know, it's the child as a cover up. You just don't want to deal with it.
Right.
You don't want to deal with it, so you just have everything will be for the child.
Yeah.
Because you just don't have the time and the patience to deal with a grown man or a spouse, or you know what I mean. So you just leave it, let it be whatever it is.
I think in that situation, I see where persons tend to prioritize the child over the spouse. That could be some people just being bad man and spiteful. They get more vexed. Alright, watch this. I just everything's for the child. And I probably know it tripping you off. So I'm going to continue to do it. Wow. So that probably might be a reflection that has issues in the marriage itself.
And some people will say it when the children come is when all the problems start to happen. You know, and it's like, is it that you had problems before and it now highlights the fact that communication was an issue, but you just brush it under the rug? And now you have to communicate. You have to deal because you have somebody that you need to take care of.
Yeah.
So
I agree with that perspective. I also think as well that a child coming into marriage brings new problems.
Yeah.
All right. According to the chat, persons are saying the prioritization does not mean meeting the child's needs, but rather ensuring the health of the primary relationship that forms the family's foundation, which would have been marriage, by the way.
Okay.
Rani Juan says spouse all day, every day. Carlos Valdez is back again, saying marriage is a garden, children are the fruits. You have to water the garden.
After this philosophy. Marriage is a garden.
Sorry, Carlos.
Children are the fruits, and you have to water the garden to get a good harvest. Yeah? What Dion was saying, sometimes it might just be the easier route, you just fall back on it. But you were saying that you think the child brings new problems.
Yeah, the child definitely brings new problems into a relationship.
New problems.
And one of those problems are, how do we manage this child? And that's what we're really talking to here today, which is, yes, your relationship.
Think it's a problem or a challenge?
Your relationship may have had its issues prior, that you're dealing with one today, one tomorrow, doing your thing. But when it comes on, now you have a new issue, which is how, so there are mothers and fathers are like, who want to train the child in this, but mommy or daddy on everything, and we're not agreeing on how to train this child.
Right.
And go ahead.
And what happens is the child will learn at an early age how to manipulate the parents into getting what they want. So being able to be on the same page when it comes to discipline, you know, these are the challenges comes up after a while. You know, when it's, you know.
But I think there's a discussion that should have happened before you even have a child. Yeah. So you could say, hi, this is my parenting style. If you get trouble, I see them are hard banners. And if the man said that and the woman like, no, I like to talk to my child and get to know them and tell them, baby boy, this is why you mustn't do this and that. If that is the two parenting styles of one of the father or the mother, I don't think that parenting style, they might not work, or the child might become a definite issue. Because the child might do something and blow. Why you lash the child for? Because you're doing wrong. Blow. You're still lashing the child. So that is an issue that needs to be discussed before the child comes.
But how are you discussing that? You need to be in a thing?
No.
Like, I think some level you could discuss.
Yeah.
But the thing of it is, while you discuss on a larger level, as the say, are practical day-to-day things that we may disagree on. For example, I just told the child, you can't get a fruit cup now, right? And
go by mommy.
You go and buy mommy. Mommy give the child literally 5 minutes. She didn't understand. And yeah, you can get a fruit cup. Go ahead. It's like
you want to do everything I know.
In other words, it can't have two man rat in one hole, and it can't have two heads of anything given instruction. It ought to have a chain of command. Because if two people we don't have the same head with every single minute detail. And what ends up happening is sometimes in a good marriage, good marriage, people want to be happy. Let's just put it this way. The man decide, I want so and so. I am the man of my home and I would like to lead my family in this way. But because the mother is the primary caregiver for the child, or that's how it is in that home, right? She is ruling out things a little bit differently than he wanted. Now, because he loves his wife and he don't want to be making issues, he sides himself. And then now, it started to seep out years down the road. She spoil him. Mother spoil him.
Don't stand by me now.
Yeah?
You deal with it.
That is a reality.
You think you're wrong for saying that?
That's a hard question.
But let's go back to the situation that you painted here, right, with the child. Okay, so this is where now the father may have been upstairs just saying, and he told the child no, and the mother downstairs and say, well, you could go ahead or whatever. But at that point, and sometimes the child may get away with it, because the father may not have seen when the mother have given her the thing. So at that point, if they had seen him, giving him the snack, then there's where communication can be like, I told her no. And this is where now, in front of the child, well, your dad or your mom told you no. And this is where you have to nip it in the bud. But sometimes it may not happen always like that.
Love that one. Because most times it don't happen like that. Most times there's a disagreement in front of the child.
That's bad.
So most times, I just hypothesize and based upon what I've seen. Most times in front of the child, so why you can't get a, no, I give him it.
And the child watching it.
And then somebody had to either back down or some negotiation had to take place.
That situation brought up is like in a football match and one referee say foul and the next referee say now foul. Even though the first referee that makes it call, the next one is a foul. Even though if he is wrong, it's a foul at that point in time. And after the situation, hey, that was really not a foul, by the way. But I support it in that situation.
Right.
So you have to have that kind of
united front, even if we disagree.
If I'm wrong, I'm right to you, no. After we apologize.
Yes, that is.
As Dion said, you have to provide that united.
Disagree.
Why you say like if you
No. I'll bring him across. But I mean, we had to put a wrap on this segment first. We had to go to the time is fast spent. But we're talking about this and these are the realities that couples face every single day. And why we don't prioritize. It's not just simple. It's not just to say the spouse is a priority. Because in practicality and ruling this thing out, when a child has needs and you're trying to care for a child and there's a communication is not as fluid and then there's a little bickering and fighting here and there management of the child and the management of the home and all these things, it becomes very difficult. And so sometimes we end up with a situation where one spouse just take a hands-off approach. and say, let she manage the child.
Yeah.
Because when I put in my mouth, it is the problem.
Yeah.
And then go on, that causes a cascading amount of issues in relationships. And soon enough, as we said earlier, the child prepares to leave the home, and the parents are left with this cascading effect of issues that were unsolved for how many years. And so we agreeing with all that is important even in the management of the child and the management of the home to ensure that the spousal relationship is the primary relationship that it is.
Yeah. So what's okay? So see, now we all know this. What does that look like to the viewer? To what does a happy marriage look like? What does an intentional marriage look like?
I will keep my mouth shut.
So we have to explain. Okay, being able to communicate, being able to forgive, being able to oh God, I'm trying to remember the things right now. So to the things that that is what we should be practicing and
modeling.
Yeah.
So guys, online, what does a healthy relationship look like in the context of having a child? Answer that for me, please. Rani, Nicola, Dale. What does a healthy relationship look like, parental relationship, in the context of having a child and managing that child?
Yeah.
The truth is, my wife and I, Kareina, we have a 2-year-old, good 2-year-old. Dion also has a child 2 years old, and we still figuring this thing out.
Yep.
We'll be honest with you, we still figuring this thing out.
I'm just listening to them.
You have a whole dynamic there with nephew and niece. That's a whole podcast by itself. But tell us, guys, what does that look like? What does healthy relationship? We go on to the final question. How does your family of origin, family that you come from, play into this whole issue?
Well, for me, I grew up with my mom as a single parent, so I was the center of her world, basically.
Okay.
So
I did not say anything to you.
So
you want to be the center of your husband with?
All the time.
Say it 1,000 times. Confession is good for this one. Yeah, nice.
So that's what I know.
Right.
So I mean, I wouldn't say I'm a entitled person because she also taught me how to. We also lived within our means, and she never gave me everything I wanted. You know what I mean? So.
Question: Your only child?
Yes.
Papa.
Spoiled.
No, I'm not spoiled to that extent where I get everything I want.
Not spoiled.
But I know what it, to be an only child.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're not accustomed in that family of origin. Is not very accustomed where you have competition for attention. All right. And that shapes how someone comes into a relationship. If other factors, because there are other factors, education, work, society, and stuff that can shape an individual. If other factors don't play in adjusting that person, then they can at times bring that into those expectations, into the marriage relationship, into even the dynamic, even with a child. Yeah. Lovely.
Well, I guess for me, now I grew up with my mom, my dad, and 3 other brothers: Samuel, Kemuel, David, Joseph. So quite early it was established that, bro, it's not you alone. There are other people to see about. And I from the jump as soon as I come out of the room, right?
Yeah.
So it does establish that, okay, mom and dad will need to share the time between all of us. We often ask them who's the favorite one. My father say he don't have any favorites. My mother have a favorite.
The smallest one.
She will not admit it, but I know her favorite is. Right? So, but yeah, we knew like the world does not revolve around you. You are very important to us, but the world does not revolve around you, and you will behave as such.
Right.
Yeah. So that was very clear.
So can that dynamic as well create a craving for attention that person's bringing into a relationship?
For me, no. Listen, I don't know, I just have plenty low maintenance friends, right? Like I would see them now and hey bro, you're good here. Next 3 years I'll see hey you're good. And it's not a problem.
Yeah.
Right? It's not like, oh my gosh, you neglect me for so much time and how you could do me this. No,
Yeah.
it's definitely not that. So yeah, that kind of family dynamics that I experienced, established clearly that we have other people to say about why you are still definitely important to us and we love you. So yeah.
Beautiful. Kareina, your family dynamic. Kareina is one of 2 siblings, and do you think that impacts what do you bring to the table, anything?
I think, yes, one of 2 siblings. I am the older sibling. This is where
Jesus.
probably...
You needed to say that.
No, I was going to say, this is where probably spacing of children comes into play. I am a couple years older than my sister, and I would have been the only child for some time. So being the only child for some time, you get a lot of attention, you get a lot of, attention being the main thing. So I grew up with getting a lot of attention, being spoiled to some degree and stuff like that. So coming into a marital relationship, attention can, or I should say unhealthy attention, may cause some changes into boyfriend-girlfriend relationship and a marital relationship. Especially if it feeds into, now this is on a different kind of segue, right? Love languages and stuff like that. So I really like words of affirmation. And, in my family of origin, that was given a lot to me, and my parents and stuff, right? So I was looking for something like that. And this is where it can kind of have some... This is where it can kind of have some challenges. The person that you are now getting involved with may not understand, 1, your family of origin, and 2, the whole love language thing, or they have a different love language, or they're still, trying to figure you out as well. So that's even into your grown life, or as your relationship matures, could have a little teething challenges that you do have to work with. But I definitely see your family of origin and all of those things lead into your marital home, and then you having your own family, ensuring that you model good behavior and things that you would have been exposed to that may not have been helpful. You seek to adjust it as best as you can under guidance from certain principles we have as in our faith, child guidance and different principles like that, and under using the word of God as well. Counseling if you need as well, to try and give your child and your unit the best chance.
So for me now, I grew up in a family, 4 siblings, 5 of us, 2 parents, 7 of us. Can't fit in a regular vehicle. That's when you know you have the children. Can't fit in a regular vehicle. And because of the size of the family that I've grown up in, and I grew up as a middle, I'm the 3rd in 5 children. So 2 before me, 2 after me. So I generally don't require a lot, as much as you may disagree, I don't require a lot of attention, especially in the home. So, Queen, why are you laughing? That's not true. Yeah, I don't really crave a lot of attention and stuff in the home. I don't mind doing my own thing, blending and mixing. And when I'm loud, I'm loud. When I'm in your face, I'm in your face. But think about these 2 dynamics coming together now. Me growing up in a big family, Kareina growing up in a smaller family. She being the first child, I being the 3rd child, middle child, and us coming together now and us having a child. Different mindsets are coming together, different cultures are coming together, and of course, if you watch my here and you watch Kareina, it's slightly a little different. So you have now a cultural aspect of it as well, and different cultures. Well, we'll talk to that guru comes on how cultures, if cultures in fact shape how we treat children in the context of the marriage, and so when we look at the whole dynamic of spouse or child, we have to understand that it is very complex, guys. It is not easy, because although, how much % of all you're saying
84%?
84% of y'all saying spouse. The reality is that it is a difficult thing to accomplish. And plenty times it could affect marriage relationships and it could affect the outcomes that you initially desired for your child.
Yeah.
So guys, closing words. I know Diane had some stuff along there that you wanted to say.
What I would say is
Close for this segment.
Yeah.
We go to a break and then we come with the guru. Sorry, Diane.
the best thing you could do for your child is love your spouse. That's what I would say. The best gift you could give your child is loving your spouse.
Beautiful. David.
Gosh, I really have to be there, but the other man. The other opposites go too. The topic is a nice persons went on Instagram, responded, plenty persons said the spouse. Although I know it wasn't true, but I just ended so I tell them you're wrong. Is your child first? And I was like, oh my gosh, and I was like, okay, I just joking. But it was a big topic. I think it's important to know, as I said before, depending on the stage of the relationship or the age of the child, you have to prioritize the child, depending on. Sometimes the spouse will have to take a back seat. Listen, you're playing number 2 for the next 2, because so have exams and I have to help them study wherever.
Yeah.
And a good spouse or somebody who's understanding should not have a problem with that. And just make it clear, and as she said, communicate what your expectations are, and it should not have a problem. So communication and establishing who needs what at the point in time. Yeah.
Beautiful. Very important, guys. Kareina, we didn't let you say no words yet. We're going to a break. Stay with us. We have some important quote-unquote announcements that are going to take place during the break. If you're a married couple, take an important look at it. We'll be right.
Je chancelle avec les yeux bandés. Le chemin à parcourir n'est pas clair. Mes mains tendues.
Bonjour. Yes, this is Kareina again. What do you mean where I am? I am in a soirée romantique. It's a merge end of year event. Yeah, and it is a French thing this year. Listen, couples are having a grand time. Brittna, is Cry trying there? Oh gosh, I am sorry you couldn't make it this year either. Well listen, I am so happy because I am just getting to have the time of my life with my husband. And you know what's the best part? We wouldn't have to even go France this year because this event is it, let me tell you. Alright, I have to go now. Things heating up here. Alright, bye.
For 18 years, couples across Trinidad and Tobago have been rediscovering the joy of marriage through something extraordinary. Welcome to Merge, where love is nurtured, connection is deepened, and marriages are strengthened, one couple at a time.
Whether it's our Merge monthly meetings, exciting couples activities, or our annual retreat, Merge is the place for enriching your marriage.
Merge is not just another marriage group. It's more than that. It's a safe space where real conversation begins, where struggles are met with support and victories are celebrated together.
Merge has been encouraging and uplifting.
Merge has been novel. Merge has been unifying.
And as a newly married couple, Merge has been something we have never experienced.
We all know marriages can be challenging, so coming to the Merge monthly meetings will always leave you feeling motivated and encouraged to stay committed.
And remain There's so many things that happen within the marriage, but there's so many candid thoughts that are shared within marriage. And apart from that, the fun as well, and so many different dimensions to marriage. It really helps you to refocus and enjoy your marriage.
And we are back on the Merge podcast. Continuing, we have our guru.
Yep. A real wise man. He's a member of Merge, guys. And Daniel?
Nice to be here. Nice to be here.
Yeah, we've had you on a podcast before.
Yes.
And he always drops some serious bombs, guys. Get your notepads out.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll show you later, write one or two things. You might want to create a little Facebook status or something.
And tag that.
Yeah. And we want to encourage you to share the link, like, and subscribe. Oh, I didn't tell them. We are aiming to reach 1,000 subscribers by December this year.
Okay.
So please help us in that mission. All of you recognize, most of you who have you in here are not subscribed. Just go hit the subscribe button. It ain't costing you nothing. Go and do it now.
Yes, and whenever you subscribe, put on your notification bell so you can always be notified whenever we go live and whenever we have content, so you never miss a beat.
Yeah, because Daniel, you heard the topic. You were right here in studio. Yes. What are your thoughts on what transpired here before?
After what was tried, there is little or nothing that could be added. It was sound.
Yeah.
It was very encouraging. And a bit of entertainment as well.
Oh, yes.
A beautiful man.
Lovely. So we find off the starting blocks.
Yes.
Any long-term impact psychologically on a child where the parents do not prioritize each other, but they prioritize the child? Are there any long-term impacts? And what can that look like?
I'll put it this way. The state of a marriage has the most indelible impact on a child.
Okay.
There's no other way to put that. That cannot be questioned or rivaled. The state of that marriage impacts that child permanently and generationally.
You know, you're saying that that's a big thing, you know?
Yes.
The state, guys, of a marriage impacts the child. And I'm thinking, as you're speaking here, about a child growing through life.
Yes.
Is it at a particular stage, or is it at any stage in there?
At every stage of their life.
It impacts them indelibly.
You will see things rearing its head. And when you look at how that child responds, there will be a link to the home.
Okay.
And even when those parents are long gone, and that child has children or a child or grandchildren, you will see that first marriage playing out 2 generations after, 3 generations after.
Wow. A child at any given point in time is like a mirror to the marriage.
Definitely.
Guys, I tell you, I get them fast and in a hurry. A child is like a mirror to the marriage.
One of our Bible teacher speaks about the weight of evidence. And to show the weight of the
bride, okay,
that should tell you how serious this marriage is.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And he says, leave and cleave, and the 2 shall become one. He never said the 3 shall become one. He also, after he created male and female, he blessed them.
Okay.
So the male and female were blessed. Later on in that same chapter 1 of Genesis, he said, after he looked at creation, trending, male and female and everything else, he said everything was very good. So the family was completed before children reach.
Come on, somebody.
Children just come. So children don't complete a family. They just extend it.
Okay. Come now, man.
Just extend it.
Children don't complete a family.
Children don't complete a family, they just extend it.
They just extend it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and the weight of evidence continues because in his commandments, because we have the whole Bible, because marriage is of God, so we must reference the source. Marriage is of God, and he condensed it. So if you can't read all this, I've given you your 10 commandments. Everything wrap up in there. And in this 10 commandments, 2 out of those 10 commandments touches on things what will impact children based on the source, the parents there. So that's 20%. The second commandment speaks about sins falling on the 3rd and 4th generation.
Okay.
And then the commandment, he said, listen, it is your father and your mother you are to honor. And there is a direct consequence. We will look at this. You don't honor them, you are literally setting up yourself to cut your life on it. That is what the Bible says. And you honor your parents so days will be long. So the weight marriage is, as one of the previous said, is nourish your marriage. That's the best thing you can do for your child, because remember, this environment shape a child's worldview. This child is going to understand problem solving, how to socialize with people, their sense of worth and identity. How should me as a woman relate to a male, and what am I to expect and take from a male? And the boy, he's getting a blueprint there how to mirror and relate to a woman. He's getting it right there. So by nourishing that much, you are not depriving the child. You are literally molding the child. That is what you are doing there. So it's not you are robbing the child when you focus. No, children have needs. They are here to depend on. But they speak spouse or child. Yes, it will be situational. If I want you bring a glass of water and the child is in pain, naturally, as the guy on the online said, function and situation. But the mistake we make, we place, when we speak about marriage, we are seeing an individual. We are not seeing an office, and we are seeing the bigger picture.
Okay.
That's the mistake we make. So when I speak of marriage, and by the way, let me send out big shout outs to my wife, Arlene.
Yes.
Right? We celebrated 17 years last month.
Wow, congrats.
Right? God has brought us through ups and downs, and we are here. Arlene, good night. I know you're praying and interceding and sharing me on home there.
Yes.
God bless your sister. And our little daughter, Daniela.
Praise God.
She's up as well, viewing. Daniela.
Nice.
Give me a wave, girl. She's 8. She'll turn 9 this month here.
Wow.
And something, a point I was making there, but when coming to this marriage,
the bigger picture,
the bigger picture, because this marriage, literally, when the order of how things flows in the chapter, image of God, male and female, multiply and replenish. We always speak about multiply and replenish, about making sure, and yes, that is a component. But multiply and replenish is also deals with multiplying the image of God on earth. That is our responsibility as a married couple. So when you...
I feel we should keep this for Sabbath morning. Yeah, let's see what the preach, right? This powerful stuff, guys. If you haven't shared the link as yet, share it. And you want to ensure that you get in and hear what is taking place here. Very important stuff.
So this marriage is a vehicle through which God works on planet Earth. Yes, it is about your character development, transformation, coming into the image of God. And yeah, that is one component. Another component is to create that environment for children to grow. But another one, which is seldom focused on, is the vehicle through which the gospel of Christ is to be transmitted in the image of God.
Okay.
The marriage is for that. So the weight of this institution, and that is one institutions go way back to the Garden of Eden, not the child. It shows the weight, and remember, the children have two wombs to flourish. The first is the incubator, called the womb, the mother's environment. But the second womb that a child nourishes and flourishes is the marriage. That's the second umbilical cord that will cut later on.
Yeah.
Right.
So this is just an introduction as to the weight, because remember, this marriage, why you have to nourish it, the bird gets big for the nest after a while.
That's true.
And these children will move on, and they have their purpose and carry on. And if you didn't lay that foundation while they were there and follow God's plan of nourishing your marriage, what will be left when these children leave?
And that's an important question. What would be left when those children leave? Because we see a lot of people, they focus on the children, and even sometimes not even to the detriment of one spouse, but sometimes the both of them focus solely on the children. And you can have a facade that it feels like it is okay, because things functional, the home is functional, lights are on, water bill is paid, the children went to school and stuff, and you're not recognizing that you're deprived relationship. And I like how you put it, in that the weight of the responsibility of the marriage is to reflect the image of God and multiply the image of God. Question. In our world we were speaking to earlier of cultural differences. I am of Afro-Trinbagonian descent. My wife is Indo-Trinbagonian descent. Does culture change how we administer parenting in the context of spouse or child? Is it that Africans, Chinese, white people do all things the same way? Or does that have some impact upon our prioritization, spouse or child?
Yes, certainly culture plays an integral part in how you raise children. Some cultures place a lot of focus on the male. You know, the male is given that superiority feel and attention, added attention, you know. And some may place the female and have her feel inferior. Some cultures, especially if it's a single parent, and I went through, and as we say in Trinidad, quote unquote, eat the birdie devil need, right? And I now come and rear a daughter. Then I want she to be a independent, career, professional Black Caribbean woman. You understand? And then that child now carries that into her relationship. So that is how she may relate to her husband. And this man who grew as, you know, you are superior, that's how he relates to his wife. So culture does play an integral in both the positive and the negative. Even if you come from a culture where you are seeing that harmonious relationship, you are seeing forgiveness, you are seeing respect when there's disagreement, the way disagreement is handled, and the way you are disciplined as the child, how you receive discipline, how discipline is meted out to you. Because how a child receives discipline is exactly how that child is going to carry discipline to their children. A boy. So that culture plays a critical role in it as well.
Beautiful, beautiful. We're going to go to the chat. We have a lot of persons responding there. Kareina, you want to share some of the comments that we're getting so far?
Yes. Persons are saying, as an only child, this is a perspective that came out. As an only child and observing their parents, they said one thing that stood out for them were that mistakes were treated as learning opportunities, not as reason shame. somebody else is chiming in and saying a healthy marriage relationship with a child will have open communication, adapting to changes in the family dynamic, and understanding that God is the center of success for the relationship. Karen Diane is saying, show affection and connection with God in front of your children to teach them what a strong, caring relationship looks like. For marriage, before marriage, it's God, your parents, and then the kids, you. After marriage, it's God, your spouse, your kids, and then your parents. That's a different conversation. Different conversation.
For your parents last day? What? Old female parents, no, this wasn't. But thanks for sharing, thanks for contributing.
Thanks everyone,
Of course, we just being light-hearted about things here. And getting back to where we were discussing concerning cultures and how they impact, what advice would you give to somebody, because we're speaking to a vast amount of cultures here on the World Wide Web. Cultures, you know, I don't know, but maybe somebody viewing us from Africa, somebody viewing from Australia, I don't know. What is the litmus test to do this thing the right way?
Well, I know we have vehicles here. You know, some have Toyota and Nissan and Volkswagen. And when there are issues with your vehicle, I don't know anyone who will carry a Toyota vehicle to a Nissan distributor to solve a problem. You go to the source, you go to the manufacturer.
Okay.
Marriage is from God.
Okay.
Whatever culture you are in, it does not change that. Marriage is from God. And if you want to understand how to treat and meet and handle, flourish, thrive amidst the storms of life, with this entity called marriage, it is non-negotiable. You have to go to the source. He is the manufacturer. And you go to him, not your way.
All right.
And not based on your conditions, you know, and your ideologies and your reasoning and your logic and your education and academia. You go to him as a child as he asked. A humble spirit, a contrite heart. Asking, feeding, connecting to that vine. And you create that now will create an enabling environment for the Holy Spirit to work. You have to come to be a child to him, the parent, same scenario. And then now, you will grow, you will learn, you will thrive. You have to go back to the Lord.
Lovely, lovely. Just want to sink our teeth a little deeper into this. Practical advice for somebody who has the paying attention to the spouse with a child who has intense need. There are children now, a lot of them, they have different developmental challenges, whether it be autism or they're on the spectrum, and they may not be any far on the spectrum, or they may just be, but you have a child, you're married, and you really still want to set up that, you know, putting the marriage as the center, but you have a child that has intensive needs. Not saying that what anything said was pie in the sky, but give that individual tonight a practical way to treat with that.
Marriage is about management. Marriage is about creativity. What the picture you painted is realistic. But as real as that is, it does not shift from God's desire. So how can we strike the balance? This child needs you. It is beyond the child's control. But the marriage is a child too, and needs you as well. And the best thing you can do to that child with those intense needs is to attend to your marriage. However, that child still needs you. How can you be creative? The person said it before. You must have a support net.
Okay.
There's no two ways about that.
Right.
So you will, because if you constantly at that child, eventually greater stress will come at that child with the stresses from the marriage. That's a fact.
Yeah.
So you your support network. You call somebody, come in for 3 hours now.
And what in terms of practically speaking, because we speak into a real life scenario here, persons who do not have family that they can call on, what are support networks they can.
One of the support, there are specialists out there. There are the information age. I will draw a real example, and this is something she ministers through my sister, has an autistic son. She does her research, she and her husband does the research. Get schools that can handle that problem.
Right.
Early drop-ins, late pickups. And they will run away, go to a little Gulf city, buy a little soft serve.
Yeah.
Understand? Yeah. They run back home. It calls it's with intentionality.
Right.
You can't think, because by doing that you are give that autistic child is seeing this as well. You know? You don't have the support network. You don't have a friend. Get a suitable school.
Well, a
caregiver coming in home.
Yeah.
You leave work early.
Yeah.
I'll take an hour. You take a day off from work.
Yeah.
You have to. These are some of the practical things.
Yeah.
Creative. Let that child have try and get that child to have a consistent routine. So go to bed early. And both of us will spend 2 hours every night together. Drop a mattress on the ground, watch a movie, pop some popcorn. You understand what I'm saying?
Get me excited.
It calls for creativity. You cannot trade God's principle based on your circumstance.
I like that.
Then you are denying the power and the veracity of the knowledge of God in your life.
Right.
And you now are literally diminishing the cross. So you have to be creative and intentional about it.
Yeah.
You cannot trade your marriage. You will suffer at the end, the child will suffer at the end, the whole thing will blow up.
And then there'll be more.
Problem and the autism, this problem is still there.
Yeah. So guys, stop making excuses.
Yeah.
Get creative. Stop making excuses. Get creative. I like that.
Another strategy you can use for somebody who may not have such a huge problem. You educate your child. Children are bright. For example, daughter Daniela. She knows more about merge than I. When I say, we say, girl, we have to go to merge meeting. So I'm going to Uncle Jaron and sleep. And he's going to be there.
Yeah.
And she's excited because it's an outing for her.
Yeah.
And she knows clearly what is about mommy and daddy going to a meeting with married couples. She's conscious about that.
Okay.
So she no longer needs to compete with merge.
Just think about how powerful that alone is to her life and her worldview.
Yeah.
How powerful that is. You know, because when I look at society, we are living in an ever-increasing insular society.
Yes.
We live in a society where we use the devices, we use social media, we work from home, we have less relationships with our peers, with our families. We just becoming very insular. And we can be speaking even not to Trinbagonians, but also the first world.
Yes.
And we look at societies, England, America, Canada, these quote-unquote first world countries, where everybody is living their life as like, my neighbor is not. So we really have to become very creative when we have isolated, when society and our norms have to be isolated.
Yeah.
My career, my job, I come home, I feed my dog, we take a walk, whatever. And that's the life. We really have to become very creative about taking ourselves out of that mode. And I always advocate for that. I believe as a Christian, we have to be creative to break ourselves out of the molds that society is giving us.
Yes.
For many, many different reasons. And even the times that we live in, and we believe that Christ would come, he would return soon.
Yes.
And when we look at that fact and how the world is trending, we have to make our lives creatively to break ourselves out of that mode.
Yes.
So in all ways, not just for your marriage, but for your as a Christian in general,
Yes.
you have to be able to be creative and break out of that mode.
Yes.
Any final words as we bring a wrap on this scintillating discussion this evening? Spouse or child, who comes first? We're agreeing, guys, that the spouse comes first as a primary relationship, and out of that, the fruit is given. Yes. Those children receive those rewards.
Yes.
Any final words, Daniel?
Marriage is from God. It's a gift to humankind for many reasons, and a gift is something that makes you smile, releases me. You take it something, you just rip off the bow, you take it. So, and because the enemy, the evil one, the devil, never experience what it is to have a bride.
Mercy.
He will constantly come at Christ's bride.
All right.
And with that in mind, we don't have a choice but to go to God.
Right.
That is the source. He will educate you. All right, this problem is a social problem. This one is a physical problem. This one requires psychiatric intervention because God grew in all his life. This one you need to increase your knowledge in how to, because we perish because of lack of knowledge. So when you with God, He's the source, He's the logos. You have to rely on Him, and then now you open yourself to be led. And your marriage, despite the storms of life, your marriage will be existing in what you call the eye of the storm. All the madness around, but there is peace and serenity in the middle there, amidst, because you have control over that. So you will have the storms, I won't stop, but you will have that peace that you can't explain, as the Bible says.
Yeah. Beautiful, Daniel. Thank you so much, guys. For all of you who have joined us online, we thank you so much. We're not ending yet. Hold on. We have an announcement to make. Kareina, any last words you want to say before we get to that announcement?
Yes, I want to piggyback on what Daniel would have shared when he said God's principles are not to be compromised on because of your circumstance. So in this vein, we are stressing that the marriage is the primary, taking care of that relationship, and that will give your unit better fortified to take care of your child together. Of course, modeling that correct characteristics to replicate God's image throughout the ages.
Beautiful. And I like when Daniel said that a child is a reflection of the marriage. I like that. If I didn't get anything this evening, which I did get a lot, I'd go home with that. A child is a reflection of the marriage. If you work on your marriage and create a healthy marriage, it is reflected in the child. Guys, well, the results of the poll are out. The results of the poll is out. 41 of you voted.
Yes.
83% of you said the spouse. And 17% of you said the child. All right, so thank you for engaging on the poll. Maybe we'll have one of these days, we'll try to record some of the polls, and at the end of the year show you all how the polls went for the year. Something like that. But guys, we're about to put a wrap on it. But before we go, we have a special program coming up at the end of this year. You've seen the advertisement for Une Soirée Romantique.
Yeah, go ahead.
Where Kareina was in France. But within that program, there's a platform for love. Kareina, tell us, what's the name of that platform?
The name of that platform is Love Unlocked, guys.
Love Unlocked. If you're single, you want to get married, you plan to get married, you're married or you was married, we want you to...
That's everybody then?
Yeah. We want you to come register. Love Unlocked is the 6th of December at the Central Bank Auditorium. We have a star-studded lineup of those who are going to speak. With panels, we have, my goodness, I'm getting so excited.
We have music, we have nuggets, we have all different kinds of things. But I mean, I hope they're gonna see the flyer sooner. The flyer is fire. Who's the lineup?
Well, on up we have the great David Dennis. All right, David, come on, put your face in front of the camera and quick for them. David. We have the lovely Akisha Akul.
She's on the flyer.
Yeah. We have the wonderful Danielle. Yes. We have Daniel on that panel, and we have quote-unquote celebrity couple in Trinidad and Tobago. They are social media content creators. You know them well. Kareina?
Anil and Kenny James.
You all know Anil and
Anil and Kenny.
You familiar?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
We look at them all the time.
Wonderful couple.
A wonderful couple, and we want to hear about their marital experiences as they share on their platform a lot. They would be there to share on the panel with us about how to find love in a modern era.
And I mean, to wrap everything up in a proper bow, we have the one and only Pastor Cyril Horrell, guys, who will be there.
Yes.
So if you are interested in this wonderful seminar type meet and greet, whatever you want it to be, it could be that. On Saturday the 6th of December 2025, Central Bank Auditorium. We would share the flyer, and the tickets are going to be out soon. Get at us for tickets. Mark it on your calendars and let people know that's where you will be. You can even have a convention down there. So everybody just come down there, okay?
And guys, it's just simply for us to celebrate love and for us to love in the right way.
Yes.
God wants us to do it. And so we invite in schools to come down. We invite in organizations. We have partnerships with the Love Until Foundation, the ministry and stuff. We're reaching out to them. We have those partnerships securing. So if you have a school and you know, or you want to sponsor one or two young people from your community, from your church, any youth group that you think they may benefit from finding out how to find love in a modern era, then you want to get at us for those tickets and stuff to be a part of the experience. So guys, it was a pleasure being with you here tonight. We'll see you all next month.
Yep.
Next month we have October, then we have November, and then we have what? December.
Love Unlocked.
Love Unlocked in December. So the podcast for December month, we will be taking y'all on a trip with us to that une soirée romantique. Of course, if you didn't pay to come, you wouldn't get behind the scenes things. All right? You didn't get all of it. But we'll be taking you all with us on that journey. Love Unlocked, une soirée romantique, etc. So guys, it was a pleasure. Have a wonderful night. We're always better together.
Better with you.
Good night.
Je chancelle avec les yeux bandés. Le chemin à parcourir n'est pas clair. Mes mains tendues.
Bonjour. Hi, yes, this is Kareina again.
Where are you?
What do you mean where I am? I am in soirée romantique. It's a merge end of year event. Yeah, and it is a French thing this year. Listen, couples are having a grand time. Wait now, is Cry trying there? Oh gosh, I am sorry you couldn't make it this year either. Well listen, I am so happy because I am just getting to have the time of my life with my husband. And you know what's the best part? We wouldn't have to even go France this year because this event is it, let me tell you. Alright, I have to. Things heating up here. Alright, bye.